And then the last one, this is actually a good one, and this one is actually kind of realistic. So put the image on the screen. It says the Pistons give up Josh Jackson and Trey Law for Marvin Bagley. So thank you, Bleacher Report. This is actually one that I could see happening in a possible scenario.
With the first pick, the Detroit Pistons select Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State.
Alright, Pistons fans, so in today's video, we have breaking news. The Detroit Pistons officially traded for Marvin Bagley. Now, before we get into all of that, please make sure you guys like this video as always. Today's like goal is 150 likes, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And also today, I'll be live at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to do a recap of the Pistons free agency. Now let's get into this. So the Detroit Pistons today were involved in a 4-team trade. And when it comes to the Pistons and the Kings specifically, the Pistons ended up giving up Trey Law, Josh Jackson, and 2 second-rounders, whereas the Sacramento Kings gave up only Marvin Bagley. So the first thing that I will say is that I am excited for next season and the remainder of this season as well. I just can't wait for this Pistons team to get better, because right now it is really hard because of the lack of talent that we have on this team. Very inexperienced right now. We all know what the issues are with the Detroit Pistons right now, but making a move like this just makes me happy and look towards the future. So the first thing that I'm going to say, my first point, is that I'm just excited with this move. Now the next point that we're going to get to is, what the Pistons gave up. So let's start with Josh Jackson. Okay, so Josh Jackson, he is a Detroit guy. A lot of people love him, and a lot of people were kind of disappointed to see one of our guys leaving. And also today was his 25th birthday, so it kind of does suck to see a Detroit guy leave and to leave on his birthday. But the NBA is a business, as we all know, and this had to be done. Look at what happened with Josh Jackson this season, okay? He started out the gate really good. Early on, he was in a backup shooting guard role, coming off the bench, scoring a lot of points. And even, when Cade Cunningham, when he wasn't in the lineup, Josh Jackson actually started a few games. So early on in the season, he was looking really solid. But once Diallo came back, he took Jackson's spot. And Josh just has not been able to recover since then. Josh Jackson is also on an expiring contract, and Josh is a serviceable player in the NBA, but I don't see too much more upside for him. I believe that the Josh Jackson that we have right now is near the Josh Jackson that we will get by the time he's at the prime of his career. So it's not too much of a loss, honestly, for Josh. And I will say that I wish him nothing but the best on the Sacramento Kings. Now let's move to Trey Law. So Trey Law is an excellent signing by Troy Weaver. In hindsight now, seeing what Law was able to do for the Pistons this year, it was an excellent signing for Troy. Law, he's a veteran, he's a scorer, he was a guy who would hit a lot of 3-point shots for us, he would be aggressive, drive inside and make a lot of layups, and really stepped into a role that we needed once Kelly Olynyk went down. So all props and respect to Trey Law. But again, he's just another role player. Losing him is not going to massively impact the future in a negative way. So that's everything for the Pistons side of things. Now let's move to the Sacramento Kings, what they gave up and what we're getting in Marvin Bagley. So Marvin Bagley, he's 22 years old. He's a power forward / center. He is a former 2nd overall pick. He was taken in the 2018 NBA draft. He's 6'10", and he is 235 pounds. So my first point with Marvin is just give this guy a chance. It did not work out in Sacramento. He had a lot of issues with the management. And now, especially after this trade deadline, I'm kind of starting to understand why Marvin did not work in Sacramento. They are a dysfunctional franchise. They have no clue what they're doing over there, okay? What they just did in Sacramento, they literally just did a Stan Van Gundy type move where they rushed the rebuild. They are obsessed with getting to the playoffs, so they traded for Sabonis. And what's going to happen with the Kings? They're going to go to the playoffs and lose in the first round to one of the top seeds. They literally just rushed the rebuild. They are not an intelligent organization that makes smart moves. The Kings are dysfunctional. So I can kind of understand now why Marvin has so many issues with the management over there. I'm sure De'Aaron Fox has his fair share of issues with them now as well. So Marvin, he's going to be an RFA coming this offseason. And with the amount of minutes that he's going to get on the Pistons, I'm sure that he's going to try his best and give full effort so that he can get a contract extension come the offseason. And then also, you got to think about the fact that he's going to be trying to prove all of his doubters wrong. With him being a former second overall pick, that's a lot of pressure still on him. So with him being traded, he's going to come here with a chip on his shoulder and having to work for a new contract. I believe Marvin is going to attempt his best to play well for the Pistons come the second half of the season. Now let's talk about Marvin as a player. He's athletic, especially for a big his size. He's a post scorer and a lob threat. We just haven't seen the fullest of Marvin so far because he was not unleashed on the Sacramento Kings, and here in Detroit he's going to have a lot of opportunities. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on the Pistons. The only thing is, he still has many holes to his game right now, many areas that he does need to improve on. He has had a few injuries in the past, so that is kind of a concern, but he did clear through the Pistons medical staff. We didn't void this trade, so I'm going to assume that his health will be good enough for the Pistons, but still something to keep your eye on. And then lastly, there's just not much risk with getting Marvin Bagley. Even if this doesn't work in the offseason, have him on a sign and trade thing where we ship him out and try to bring another guy in here. So this is really a good move for the Pistons. This was kind of a good move for the Sacramento Kings as well, since they weren't using Marvin and they're bringing in a guy in Trey Law who can help them kind of on the playoff push, chip in a little bit off the bench, Josh Jackson as well. So honestly, this was a W for both teams. We both got what we wanted in the end. And again, shout out to the money man, Troy Weaver. I'm going to continue to believing in him in this team. We have our issues every now and then. We have our rough points in the season, but at the end of the day, I believe in this organization. I believe in the direction that we're going in, and I can't wait to see what we got cooking up in the future. So Pistons fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 4K, and I'm out.